Since the international energy situation has changed drastically, Russia has been making big moves. First, it shifted its energy export industry from the west to the east, and then opened the Far East area, which occupies 40% of its land area, to China. It can be seen that after Russia lost its major Western client, its attitude towards China is no longer the same. Since February 2022, the trade between Russia and China has become very close. In addition to doubling the delivery of natural gas to China through the Power of Siberia natural gas pipeline, China and Russia have also finalized the second natural gas pipeline project. It is the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline. Although the construction of the second China-Russia natural gas pipeline has not officially started, Russia's major energy giants have already begun to compete for the right to supply gas to this pipeline. Why do Russian energy companies attach so much importance to China? Why is China so confident in tying its energy security to a single country? Isn't China afraid of repeating the mistakes of Europe? In today's video, let's talk about these issues. Okay, let's take a look. As the international situation continues to change and the Putin government has further strengthened its cooperation with China in the energy field, Russian energy giants have also launched a competition for the right to use key pipelines to ensure that they can participate more extensively in energy exports to China. This shows the urgency of its foreign energy exports. According to Russian media reports, a few days ago, a source said that although the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline has not officially started construction, the Russian oil company has applied to the Putin government, hoping to obtain permission to pass the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline in the future. Second, the president of the company also personally wrote to Putin, hoping to use the contacts he left during his tenure as Russian deputy prime minister to allow the Kremlin to list the company as a potential natural gas supplier for the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline. By the way, according to Gazprom's plan, the 2,600-kilometer Power of Siberia 2 pipeline project is expected to be put into use around 2030, transporting up to 50 billion cubic meters of natural gas to China through the territory of Mongolia every year. Rosneft is a comprehensive energy company. Although it started in the oil field at first, the company is now the third largest natural gas producer in Russia. To the company's embarrassment, the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline was built by Gazprom. As Russia's largest natural gas producer, Gazprom is not short of natural gas, and is not very interested in receiving natural gas from third parties. Under such circumstances, Rosneft can only hope that the Putin government will come forward so that they can participate. Some Russian media said that after receiving Sechin's letter, Putin had instructed Russian Deputy Prime Minister Novak to coordinate the cooperation between the two companies. It is worth noting that in order to be able to take advantage of the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline that will not be put into use until 2030, the Russian energy giant is now approaching Putin, which also reflects that the Russian energy industry attaches great importance to China. And this emphasis is also affected by many factors. First of all, under the influence of factors such as carbon peaking and carbon neutrality becoming global key points, most of the world's proven oil-producing areas will run out of reserves in about 50 years. Natural gas is overtaking oil as the world's most important energy source. All major industrial countries are increasing the use of natural gas. According to data previously released by China, in 2021, China's annual natural gas consumption will reach 369 billion cubic meters, a year-on-year increase of 12.5%. China's natural gas is mainly imported. Under such circumstances, Russian energy companies will naturally want to seize the opportunity and plan ahead. Secondly, after the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the actual changes in Russia's external energy export pattern. Due to the good economic and trade relations with Germany and other countries, Europe has always been the most important natural gas export market for Russia. However, after the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Most European countries followed the United States and stood on the opposite side of Russia, and energy exports between Russia and Europe were inevitably affected. At the beginning, a certain amount of natural gas trade was maintained between Russia and Europe. However, under the influence of a series of events such as the explosion of the Nord Stream natural gas pipeline and the use of energy weapons by the Putin government to compete with the West, the volume of natural gas trade between Russia and Europe gradually decreased, until now basically cleared. Norway, the United States and the Gulf region have become the main natural gas suppliers in Europe. In order to ensure energy exports, the Putin government initially looked in two directions. The first is of course China. The Siberian Power 2 project can be quickly put on the agenda, which is the result of the Putin government's vigorous promotion. In addition to new pipeline projects, Russia is also using the original transportation channels to export a large amount of natural gas to China. The other is Turkey. Russia hopes to establish an energy transfer base in Turkey to promote maritime energy trade and to reserve a backstop for future re-export of natural gas to Europe. However, while Turkey is discussing natural gas cooperation with the Putin government, it has blocked key straits and asked Russia to give natural gas discounts. After this series of incidents, the Russian energy industry has actually seen that natural gas exports to Turkey are not stable, and it is still unknown when natural gas exports to Europe will return to normal. In the foreseeable future, only China is the most stable export market for Russian natural gas. China is actually happy to see Russia's natural gas exports shifting to the east. After all, after making a commitment to the world to reach its carbon peak in 2030, China is indeed accelerating its energy transformation, and its demand for natural gas is increasing day by day. In addition, compared with importing liquefied natural gas by sea from the United States, Australia, and Gulf countries, Russian natural gas transported by pipeline is more cost-effective. But these do not mean that Gazprom will completely squeeze the natural gas from other countries out of the Chinese market. China understands this much better than Europe before it. Before the Russian-Ukrainian conflict broke out, China had established 4 energy import channels in the northeast, northwest, southwest, and sea. After Russia exported a large amount of natural gas to China, China still built a large number of liquefied natural gas receiving facilities along the eastern coast as planned. On the whole, as Russian energy companies are scrambling to deploy in China and continue to export natural gas to China, the volume of natural gas trade between China and Russia will rise steadily, and China's natural gas supply will be guaranteed for a long time. In the case that China has completed the layout, even if the international situation changes again in the future, China can avoid facing the plight of Europe. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas with other people. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.